My name is Professor Sean.Watts. I'm an old man, as you can see, and being a professor, I just want you guys to realize that these professors work for you. And so you should be leveraging us to make sure you have a good future. Many professors, if not most professors in Korea, may disagree and be yelling at students and controlling students, but you pay our salary, right? The students are who we are supposed to be focused on. And as you can see, I'm maybe going bald and lots of gray hair and lots of wrinkles. I have a lot of experiences. I'd be happy to share with you a bunch of experiences. I'd be happy to talk about almost anything. Last Sunday, a student actually called me and was talking to me for a couple hours on a Sunday morning. So I am very open to talking to people, and I am eager to share my many mistakes and whatever I've learned and my experiences with you guys. So with that said, again, this is me. I have a Korean wife and some kids, 4 kids. This is me on the beach and skiing with the family. I encourage you guys to ask any questions you want. So before I start talking about my suggestions for you, I'm just going to start by introducing myself so you guys know what we're talking about. You have my contacts online. In addition to my contacts, the email address that says Sean.Watts.Teaching@gmail.com, that is an email address for a teaching team. I have a couple of great TAs that are also able to help you guys. So contact us by email or however you see fit, whenever you need some sort of guidance. Let's start with these basics. So I want you guys to be aware that times are changing. There's big things going on. The idea of COVID-19 has changed the world. Almost everybody's online, and almost everybody is following what people in other countries are doing, second by second, minute by minute. And the idea before COVID-19 is that people are moving online with the Industrial Revolution 4.0. And since China is now a bigger economy by some standards than United States and Europe, so China and East Asia is basically the center of the world, and you guys are in the middle of it. So there are probably more opportunities available for you guys than you may realize. I just want to talk about that stuff today. So with that said, Yoon Sungwon, can you hear me okay? I just want to check I'm not just talking to myself.
Yes, I hear you.
Great. What about Son Jimin?
Yes.
Great. Before I get into the idea of what I suggest, I want you guys to also know that, let me see if I can go through some of this. Oops, it's, you can see the screen. I'm signing into the university system. There is a, in Edwards, in the academics, it might take a little bit of time, sorry. What I'm trying to show you is there is a way you guys can sign up and request meetings and counseling from almost any teacher anytime. So 1148 is my code, 1148. So you can see me, I'm signing into your university system. Inside your university system, what is this word? And I'm not talking about training session to begin your careers. But many people in Korea don't recognize that. Many people in Korea, they just go to school, including university, because their friends do, so I don't ask why. And their mom says do it, so I don't ask why. And they see many people do it, so they just do it, they follow. Well, I'm telling you, stop following blindly and start looking at your life, start looking at your situation. The job situation has changed. When your mom and dad or grandmother and grandfather, when they were your age, if they had a university education, they were guaranteed to get a job. They could probably work for Samsung, Hyundai, any big company just because they had a university degree. Well, no more. That doesn't exist anymore. It's very competitive. And even though you know it's competitive to get jobs, a lot of you aren't thinking of the big picture. There's 8 billion people that you're competing with, and more than 2 billion people are fighting very hard to get any good jobs because they're poor. They're working and living on less than $2 every day. So these other people that are poor, they still have internet. They still have access to cell phones. They still have access to many of the technologies you do. And because of coronavirus, everybody's online. All companies are online. And so somebody from Kenya or Nepal or India could apply for the same job you want. So the idea of just waiting, then you graduate, and after you graduate, then you try to get a job, that's a very strange thing. You should be thinking today, what can you do? So what I want to talk about is use your environment. There are numerous opportunities available. I know for a fact, and I can tell you examples of how I've helped other students get jobs. For example, last semester, from September to December, I taught classes at the university. And many students, when I asked, when will you get a job? They didn't know. They thought maybe after they graduate, or maybe after the military service, they will think about it, or after they get a master's degree, then they will think about a job. That was in September. But because I play mind games and change their thinking way, there were many students that said they're interested in Samsung. So I got Samsung executives, top executives. They came and they talked in class. They were like another professor, and they helped mentor students. Some students really liked that, and they know that Samsung is doing well with technology, and they know the Internet of Things is popular, so they started researching about the Internet of Things. And Samsung was so impressed when the students did their research and a paper about the Internet of Things, and these are young students, but the Samsung executive was so impressed, he said, if you keep developing this, he could give 500 high-tech Samsung devices. So if you think of a Samsung high-tech device, maybe ibegmanon, $2,000, 500 of them, that's $1 million that a stranger in Samsung said he would give to the students just for developing a paper. So that's what I'm talking about. Don't just listen to the old man in the room or the professor in the room. Start thinking outside your classroom. Start thinking, who is interesting? Who do you want to associate with? What job do you want? And start thinking, how can I contact them? Invite them to talk to your class. Or you can develop research papers. Do it on your own. Who cares what your professor is doing? Make your own research project and contact those business people and interview them. By interviewing them, you have a relationship, you have a connection. So that idea will help. And with coronavirus, you don't have to only think of Samsung. Forget Korea. Korea is nice. Korea is a great country, but only 50 million people. There's 8 billion people in the world. There's like IKEA in Scandinavia and Reliance Industries in India. They're world famous. If you're interested, you could contact them. So I just want to check. Yi Dong-young, can you hear me clearly?
Yes.
Yes or no? Yes?
Yes.
On a scale of 1 to 10, if 0 is talking too slow and 10 is talking way too fast, you don't understand, but 5 is talking perfect so you understand, Can you tell me, Lee Dong-young, how fast am I speaking from 0 to 10? 0 is slow, 10 is too fast. How fast
5,
is
sir.
my speaking?
5.
So 5?
Yes.
Everybody understands what I'm saying? Any questions yet? What about this idea of there's photos? I'm showing photos here and I'm showing photos here. Nobody even wants to know where are these photos? Nobody cares about me. What about the green box? Kim Chae-hyun, can you read inside this green box? What does it say?
You have a limited time, 168 hours per week, 48 work, 56 sleeping, 72 hours extra. Start wasting, start doing.
Great. So I'm going to pretend you guys work 40 hours or 8 hours every day working on your classwork or a job. I know many students that don't work 8 hours studying every day. But even if you do work 40 hours a week, you still have almost double the time available. Start thinking, what are you doing with your time now? You know it's hard to get a job if you just follow regular people. So start thinking, how can I use my free time smarter now? With that in said, everybody knows you're supposed to talk about do what you love, work what you love. Well, I think that's bullshit. It only is successful if you do what you love, what you have a passion for, and you have to have skill for it. And most important, the world must want to pay for it, must have a market need. So combine those things with everything you do. If you are doing something that does not relate to these, ask why. Why are you doing something that you don't connect with or you care about? Maybe you misunderstand the value of that topic or the subject or what you're doing. So ask the teacher, why do I have to study this bullshit? Start trying to make a better future for you. Proactively plan every second, every day, every week, so that you develop yourself. You must know that expression. Lee Chang-hyun, how are you today? Can you read what I have highlighted here?
What did you highlight?
At the very bottom.
Okay.
Failing
to plan equals to planning to fail.
Right. So do you have a written plan for your future? Or are you planning to fail? If you don't have a written plan for your future, the chances are, what? Right? So get serious about you. Who cares about your professor? Who cares about the school? Who cares what your mom says? It's your life, your future. Start planning it. There's a lot that young people might not notice because it's new to you. You haven't done university very much before. Old people have. In elementary school, middle school, high school, I think you have what, 10, 11, 12 years of school? Well, I had 13 years of elementary school, middle school, high school, and then 17 years of university training. It's not that I'm really stupid, it's just I've studied a lot. And so I've also worked a lot, and I've worked with many companies and many universities. I've worked in 128 countries. So realize these old crazy professors that might be boring you in class, they work for you, you pay them, and they have experience, they have education, they have resources and connections that might help you. But if you just sit quietly at the back of the class and you don't use your video, or your professor doesn't see you, I can't really help you. Lee Chang-hyun, I know you because you called me on a Sunday morning. That's okay. I remember you. But almost every other student here, I have no idea who you are. Sorry, it's just reality. So Understand your environment and use it. What's good and bad about these details? Analyze yourself, analyze your professors, analyze the university, your environment, and all the VIPs around you, like Elon Musk or Jack Ma. Today, I saw online that I could track where he went, even though Jack Ma is a billionaire, with technology today, he's the guy that has the Alibaba and the Ant Group. And last year, he was saying he's going to be the richest person on the planet in history, something like $1 trillion stock option. But he laughed at the Chinese government. And so the Chinese government basically smacked him down. But Jack Ma, you can still track where he goes, even where his car is, where his plane is. So I know from last August, everywhere he was. So do you. You can see that. So you could contact Jack Ma. You could maybe walk up to the street and see where he's going to be. Same thing with Elon Musk. I'm not saying that it will be easy to sit down and have a beer with Jack Ma. I'm not saying you can go smoke a cigarette or a cigar with Elon Musk. What I'm saying is you can contact almost anybody. You can find out details about them, and you could send a text message. You could send an email, but that is what a student would do with no experience. Me, I'm the old guy. I don't know if you can see my t-shirt here. It says, I'm allergic to stupid people. So stupid people are people that do things without thinking properly. So I have met, I don't know, millions of people. And I'm old, and I've had lots of mistakes. So find out from me what's the best way to contact them. For example, you must find your dream. Every day, think about it. Then you must find the idea of where your skills are. This idea of a mind map is very simple. It will tell you who you are. And then it will also tell you what kind of job might match you. That's very simple. I can explain it later if you ask questions. If you don't ask questions, maybe you're going to miss things. That's the point. Ask me questions. Ask everybody questions. Ask questions about everything. Next, if this idea of just writing down your character, writing down what is your culture, what is your learning style, if you write that down, it will help identify what jobs and future might be good for you. Then you can go to another website, humanmetrics.com, or personality test, or 16 personalities. There's many websites that will help tell you what personality you have, what career matches you, what type of future job matches you. And they're pretty simple. You just answer some questions like, you are almost never late for your appointment. So Kim Jae-hyun, can you tell me, are you almost never late for meetings? Yes or no? Kim Jae-hyun.
Yes. Yes, Professor.
So you are almost never late. Good. What about the next question?
No.
Too bad. I asked a question, you answered. Let's go to the next one. I'm getting old. I don't want to die. You can read this anytime. I can share this with you anytime. Next question is, you like to be engaged in active, fast-paced jobs. Do you like to be in fast things?
Yes.
Yes or no? Good. So you see, these questions are pretty easy. If you go through and just answer them, yes, no, yes, no, yes, no, it will tell you what kind of personality you have, and it can tell you, as you see here, what type of career is a good match for you, what type of person you could date or marry, how you communicate, how you study. There's so many things it will help you. Many young people don't know what they want for the future. So if you don't know, try this website, humanmetrics.com or personalitytest.com, or go through this type of thing where you just write down your characters and then flip the paper over and it asks somebody, what do these things look like? What job does this look like? So helping people, brains, human body, sophistication, challenges, that looks like a medical doctor. So you could be a medical doctor. And if you identify what you don't like you don't like sick, dead, depressed people, then it also matches international business or management. This is what I did. I started university when I was 15 years old, and the same information is true today. So you could do it. If I could do it, anybody could do it. Let's go on to the next part. This idea, simple things will help you identify what will be your future, like humanmetrics.com. And it will help identify this. How do you learn? Did you know that there's at least minimum 16 different personalities in the world? And there are many different learning styles in the world. For example, there's a diverging learning style, converging learning style, assimilating, accommodating, it's based on concrete experience and feelings or reflective observations. This is confusing, but the general idea is each person learns differently. If you are learning the wrong way, or if the teacher is teaching a different way, it will not match you. You need to find what is your learning style and what is the teacher's learning style, and it will make things much more interesting, much easier. Next, in addition to learning style, there's also communication styles. So Honey and Mumford is another simple test talking about learning and communications. So there's activists, there's reflectors, there's theorists, there's pragmatists. There's many different things you could be focused on. And I could waste your time and talk about what is an activist, what is a theorist, what is this, but I know you don't really care. You should. If you study this, if you go into it, you will learn some details, and you will learn how to learn faster, how to learn better, how to have fun learning. If learning is boring, it's probably because you're not doing your learning style. You're doing maybe the professor's different learning style, and that's stupid, people. So don't forget, the professor works for you. Maybe some changes are possible. So there's many different learning styles, and the idea of anybody can be successful. This book, The Outliers, it talks about how everybody on the planet is almost exactly the same. Bill Gates is not from Mars. He doesn't have an alien brain. Steve Jobs, Bill Gates, they were born at the same year, the same time, in the same conditions where personal computers started. And they got them first before almost anyone else. When they were in middle school and high school, they spent more time playing with them than most university professors. Let me repeat that. You could spend more time on something you like and be more of an expert than me as a professor. So be aware of that. That's one of the reasons why, sorry, as I bat my cell phone and microphones around, that's one of the reasons why Bill Gates didn't finish university. I'm not telling you to drop university. I'm saying to try to look at the big picture. Same thing. Bill Gates, Steve Jobs, the Beatles, Mozart, all of them became successful only because they realized they need to put in 10,000 hours of practice to be a world famous expert. Start now. You do realize that you spend 8,765 hours every year. And who was it? Was it Lee Dong-young? Do you remember that first thing I was talking about? How many hours do you spend every week? You have 160 hours every week, and 72 are probably wasted. So if you identify how every hour could be used, you can start being a specialist soon. And as the Outliers book talks about, everyone is equal. You can contact me. I work for you. You can contact any professor. We work for you. And you can contact professors, students, business executives anywhere in the world, Canada, USA, China, India, France, England. Nothing is stopping you. Start developing what you're interested in. Learn from me what is the best way to contact them. I've talked to Bill Clinton and Michael Gorbachev or Mikhail Gorbachev or Michael Jackson and many country presidents and company presidents. And I'm not special. So how did I do it? Learn from it. The simple idea is research that person as much as you can. Find out what that person is interested in. Then try to help them. Talk about only what that person is interested in. If you talk about what they want, they will listen. If you just walk up to a Samsung executive and say, "Hi, I'm a student, blah, blah, blah," their normal idea is to say, "Students don't know anything, 짜증나, 저리 가, go away." But if you see that they want to get research, they're developing Internet of Things technology, and you don't say you're just a young student. Think big. Think of the big picture. You are part of what, 20,000 students in the university or 30,000 students? And how many thousand PhD professors are working for you because you pay for the university? And how many students are in your group? How many students are around you? We're all part of a team. So you could contact those people, say you're part of a big team researching this, and Lee Chang-hyun, I'm going to bother you again. The idea of reading some research papers. I'm going to go back and forth and talk about a few things here. This is talking about how to write a paper, and you know the basics. Where is it here? The question I have for you is, oh, here. So what is the most reliable source of information? Lee Chang-hyun.
Articles from Scopus.
Good. So you know that. And you should know that getting access to read Scopus is expensive. One story, not a magazine, not just one journal, but one story could be $50 to read. So Bill Gates has to pay $50 to read one. Any company executive has to pay $50 for one. If you go through this Edwards system and use the library, the university pays millions of dollars so you can learn that and access for free. So you can take this top quality research and give that to a company. That alone should impress those executives and company people. That alone should open the door. Just find out what they're researching, take those keywords, put them into the Scopus library, scopus.com, download a bunch of articles and show it to them. You don't even need to read them. And that should interest them. If you do read them and you know a little bit of information from each one, you could summarize and help save their time saying, this one might be interesting to you because this, and the other one is interesting because this. The other one helps you with this. Just that simple stuff will help companies. And that's what you do in class. Your teacher is telling you, your professor is telling you, make a research paper. That's why. Find out what the world is finding, the new stuff, the cutting edge, the benchmarking stuff, and use that to help a company. So start interacting with them as soon as you can. This idea I've talked about with some of my students, but some of you, maybe you didn't notice or maybe you didn't hear this before. Every class, usually the teacher says, write a paper. So you do it. And then next class, next semester, you write another one. But the last paper goes in the garbage. What did you do with last year's paper? Is it helping you today? Probably not. But if you take your paper that you spent a long time making and put it into a student newspaper or a journal, if you publish it and then put it in your resume, that will help you forever. If you give your paper to a company and give them ideas and give them that Scopus valuable information that could help the company. So you could be friends and help companies. If you're friends helping them, don't forget, I work for you. I am part of your team. When you talk to that local company, you can say, I am part of your team. Many professors are helping you. That company should be grateful. And so when you apply for a job, it's much better for you to get the job than the 8 billion other people. Let's stop and think about that for a while. It gives me a time to drink wine. It's Saturday. I'm supposed to be partying. I want to hear from you. Any questions from any of you yet? I'm waiting to hear questions. Hua, any questions from you?
Can you?
Park Jong-ik, any questions from you?
I'm wondering, like, how can we students like get in contact with big company and building the relationship with them?
It's really hard. It's called this. Use a bloody phone. Use the email. Use text. There are millions of ways to do it. But you're right. If you just try on your own, you might fail. So what? If you fail when you're a student, who cares? Keep trying. Try yourself to contact the person. Say that you're part of the research team. Don't say you're a young student. Don't say you don't have experience. Don't say, I'm interested because I'm a student. I never had a job. I want to work for you someday in the future. That makes you look not valuable. Realize you have millions of dollars at the library that is for you. You could take that and share that millions of dollars of information. See the gray hair on this old man? This guy works for you. I'm part of your research team. Talk about how I can help develop a paper to help that guy, to help the company. And then there's the next step of, there are like Apple or Google, many huge trillion-dollar companies, multinational companies. They're making so much money, the world, some of them hate them. They have to give money back. They have to look nice. And they almost always give money back to universities and students. Colleges and universities in Korea, and thousands of colleges, university in China and India and North America. You can contact many, many students and survey them and give customer survey results to the company. What do these rich people like? What do customers like? That will help Louis Vuitton. That type of thing you could do now. Next, what are the skills? What activity can you join to get your dream? If your dream is to do something with Louis Vuitton, what is a skill related? Obviously, you need to learn how to communicate well. You need to learn how to talk. You need to learn how to stop hiding behind a blank video, show your face so they know you, and talk more, ask more questions. Learn how to impress other people. Learn how to do sales. Learn how to promote yourself. Learn how to negotiate things. Start in class. Start with other students or professors around you where you're allowed to screw up. You're allowed to be stupid in class. Do it now before university is finished so you can get those jobs now. Jun, Hedian, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm getting tired of talking all by myself. Can you help me and ask me a couple of questions? Maybe you can ask me a question about what is your dream, or how can you find your dream, or how can you make a paper for them? I can show you what a paper should look like. I can show you the basic questions to ask. I can show you the advanced, the geek way to write a paper or pretend to be an expert. I can show you what is valuable. And many, many more things. So ideally, what is your question? Is your question?
I
am
don't have
thinking-
a question.
No, blow the shit. Are you successful? Are you living in paradise now? Is your life a dream? If not, you should have a million questions how to get to your dream. What is the first step? What is the second step? How can you get there? What is the easiest way to get to your goals? Kim Chae-hun, what do you think? Is it easier to go up the stairs or easier to go downstairs? Kim Chae-hun.
My opinion, it is not easy go to upstairs.
Right.
Yes.
So do you know why am I asking this? Because you are at the bottom stair, ha 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 ha. And I am at a higher stair, ha 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 ha. I have less hiking, less exercise to do. But why I'm talking about that is it's easy for me to pull you up. If you contact somebody on a higher level and talk to them, that connection helps pull you up those stairs. Don't sit quietly at the bottom and just dream about getting higher. Do it. Do an activity that gets you higher level. Contact people that gets you higher level. Maybe your dream is Louis Vuitton because Lee Chang-hyun wants to walk around with Louis Vuitton beautiful purses before he goes on his dates with his boyfriend. I don't know. Sorry, terrible joke. But if you think that you want to work with Louis Vuitton, maybe you don't have to contact only them. Maybe you could contact some popular customers or other luxury products like Moet and Hennessy, Moet Chandon Company or Hennessy Whiskey Company. Contact and learn about those luxury products because it's the same company. Find out what they are doing. Maybe your dad or your uncle is a popular customer. Start learning about why they buy it or where they go to buy it. And just that information would get you to a higher level. That type of thing might help. So what is a question that Kim Chae-hun and Sungjin, what are some questions you might have? How to get to your goals, or how to write a paper, how to get money from a company, how to get paid for school, how you can study in other countries and you don't have to pay more for it. Almost every university in the world has exchange partners. So your university and universities in other countries, they already have a contract where they have to have university students and professors going back and forth every year. So you can go for an exchange in Paris and study Louis Vuitton if you want, or in New York or in other countries. You don't have to pay any more. Many times for international travel, again, I started university when I was 15. In my first year, I was one of the youngest guys in the university. So university administration used to laugh at me. Ha ha ha, young little shit. Let's make fun of him. You're so cute. What do you want to do? Where do you want to go? Some university manager asked me when I started university, you're so cute. What do you want to do? Where do you want to go? And I just finished watching Bugs Bunny. You guys know Bugs Bunny and Mickey Mouse? I just finished watching Bugs Bunny commercial, a TV show, and I remember Bugs Bunny said, I want to go to Albuquerque. I took a wrong turn at Albuquerque. I didn't know where Albuquerque was. So I said, I don't know. I want to go to Albuquerque just because of Bugs Bunny. Well, that guy in the university, he sent me there. The next semester, I was living in Albuquerque, New Mexico. So it's as simple as that. Just start asking questions, start being more proactive. So what is a question you guys have that I can help answer for you?
Do you think that if I start at a low level in a big company, like a corporation, is it possible to get to like higher level of management if I
Of
just keep
course,
working?
of course. A lot of young people, they dream about trying to be a manager in a big company, but you forget there's millions of other people that have already worked for 5 years or 10 years. So you're competing with them. Doing regular life, if you just get a university degree, it's not really special anymore. You get a university degree and you compete with somebody that also has a university degree and 10 years of work experience. They're also applying to be the manager. So you can be a manager, but the normal way is to start at the bottom. Start at the lowest level. Start with a shit job is normal. So if you want a normal route, it just apply, finish school, finish university, get a degree, then start. You will start at the lowest shit level. But if you think big, if you realize you have millions of dollars of Harvard Business Review journal articles, you can give that valuable information from university to a company, then you're helping the director do a valuable job. You're helping that director get a lot of results, a lot of information. So that director will depend on you. If you help the director wants you to keep helping you. So only if you start now, that director can be part of your life and you could be a manager. You don't apply for a job, you make it. You contact the director now and say, I know you're working on this. I know you like this and this and this. I have 100 research articles. You want me to show you? Now you're in trouble. I'm going to show you. This is just some of the papers that students had before. Here is another report talking about how to develop. But this one, this is a folder of a student. This is not my folder. This is a student's folder. They found this valuable Scopus article and another one, another one, another one, another one. All of them are related to what the student loves, the student's dream. And so they found this, and just this collection will be valuable to that company executive. Just share this folder and the director will be happy. If you put it into a PPT and you understand those details, it will be even easier. So if we go through them, if you want, I can show you examples of what it looks like. Here is what the student is doing. They're researching this. They found this article. They're going to copy the same style. Here's another valuable thing Louis Vuitton maybe will like. So they write about this. Here's another valuable thing that Louis Vuitton might like. So they put this into their paper and they put it, internet's not going very well. It's only 5G in Korea. But eventually you could write this paper, and this paper, it's written by a student. I can teach you how, your professors will teach you how. You can give this paper to that company executive. Does that help answer your question? Like, how can you contact them? Just contact them by giving a paper that you wrote, or contact them by giving a presentation. Show, here is an article, you should like it because of this reason. Here's another one, very valuable, you should like it, it will teach you this. Here's another one, very valuable, it will teach you this. That's my requirement for class. I make it a class requirement because it can change your life. forget me. Think of your career. Give it to somebody that is on a higher step. Who else? Any other questions? Does that answer your question?
Yes, so I have another question. So because I'm studying in Australia and I see students there, they really proactive and they really confident, while student in Asian is more like quiet and listen to what teacher is saying. So do you have any tips to help us like improve our confidence and be more proactive?
You have probably, I would say 95%, you have learned more details and more facts than almost any student in Australia or North America. Why? There's a culture difference. In North America, I can show you hundreds of facts. Soon as they're a baby, their parents make them make decisions. What do you want for breakfast? There's go to the kitchen. Get the breakfast yourself in the kitchen. There's 10 cereals, 10 fruits, 10 juices or drinks. So the baby must decide, I want this cereal, I want this juice, I want this. So the North American and Australian, from a baby, they're used to making decisions. But in Korea, your mother, or in Vietnam and Asia, your mother makes you focus on memorizing the books and the theory and the details, because your mother takes care of your food. So you have spent more time learning than most North Americans. It's just, look at Donald Trump. He's confident he can answer anything, but he's full of shit. He doesn't know what he's talking about. That is life. So be confident with yourself. Start making decisions for yourself now. You should thank your mother and father and teacher for controlling your life so you don't have to decide, but realize the sooner you start to question, the sooner you start to decide, the sooner you start to think about your future and what you want, the easier it will be to use your brains. My wife is, this is being recorded, right? Maybe it's going to be on YouTube, so I have to say she's a wonderful woman, and maybe she's Wonder Woman, but the reality is, if you look at it, she's a regular human being. You can see there's no Wonder Woman headband or Wonder Woman clothes. Look at this jacket. It definitely does not look like Wonder Woman. My wife, when she was in high school and university, she had to memorize a whole dictionary. When I heard that, I laughed. I thought, bullshit, no way. North Americans, I can't memorize one paragraph. There's no way I can memorize a whole book. But that's kind of popular in Korea. It's popular in Asia. You have not just learned one word, you've learned the whole book. Almost nobody in North America or in Australia can do that. So take that as an example. Build your confidence. Start speaking now. Yun Songwon, do you know anybody that had to memorize a book or a chapter? Yun Songwon, are you still here, or did I put you to sleep? What about Kim Chae-hyun? Do you know anybody that had to memorize a chapter or a book? Maybe your mother, father, aunts, uncles. Did you?
Write on paper to memorize it.
So you have had to memorize lots before? Damn. When I was 15 and started university, like I said, I didn't know where Albuquerque was. I was watching Bugs Bunny, and I heard Bugs Bunny make a joke about Albuquerque. So I said, I want to go to Albuquerque. And 3 months later, I was living in Albuquerque. I didn't memorize the details. I thought Albuquerque, New Mexico was in a Spanish area. So I tried to learn Spanish. I started by trying to learn just, hi, how are you in Spanish? But I couldn't really memorize one page of the book. I definitely couldn't memorize a lot. So when I went down and I met many people speaking Spanish, I started speaking to them in French because French and Spanish are similar. My story, the purpose is you don't have to be perfect. Just try things. And sometimes, even if the normal way is Spanish, you can do very well by guessing, and you can do very well by speaking French or Italian. It's almost the same. You can communicate. That's how I started to become a professor. Do you have another question? Jung Wuan or Jung Yudam? Any questions from you guys before we wrap it up and I go back to drinking my wine on a Saturday afternoon?
I have a question.
Damn it! I wanted to drink, but go ahead. You can ask a question. I'm going to drink anyway.
How can I find the paper in Scopus? I'm trying to find a paper in Scope, but I didn't make it, so
Okay, so
I don't know how to use
okay,
it.
Yi Chang Hyun. Great. So you want to know how can you find the somebody else? You're drinking wine too. I love you. I'm definitely going to help you. Thank you very much, Yi Chang Hyun. But I'm going to torture you too. Can you tell me how do you think you can find one of those valuable Scopus papers? And the answer is on this page I'm showing you.
Okay. Go to Scopus link and
go to Scopus link, yes.
Sorry.
And
make an access from your university, gaming university.
Yes. So you sign in through the university. When you click that, you can press sign in through your university, and then you have to type in Keimyung University, because I'm an old man. I've done it so much. My computer remembers this stuff. So you sign in through the university, and you can get these by putting in your student number and your password. If the university is too cheap, talk to me. I will give you my passwords. You can get in. And, oops, I shouldn't say that since this is going to be going on YouTube. Of course, we are only going to have proper people using the details, and then type in anything. Who is the person that asked the question? What you want to know about Scopus articles? So this website is the Scopus website. Almost all of the articles here, they are Scopus valuable articles. Each one is from $30 to $50 to read. So you tell me, what do you want to find? I'll find it for you now.
Global demand in Apple.
Sounds like boring.
Yeah.
Sounds like boring economics crap. Global demand. So if we just press global demand, you can see that, right?
Yeah.
I typed in global and demand, and you have 74,000 articles. So are you interested in global tree or global watering and irrigation or trade water footprint or landscape? So we can narrow that down. Search inside this. What specifically do you want to know? Management or economics or policy?
Management.
Oops. So management. So we press that in, and we can limit the results to that. And now we have just 36,000 articles talking about management, and it's still trees. Maybe you love talking about global trees and managing that. We can focus this a little bit more. Do you like engineering? Yes or no?
Yes.
Really? Okay. What about social sciences? Social science means business, management, economics, everything, right?
Yeah.
Yes or no?
Yes.
Do you want to be an environmental science expert?
No.
Say no. Good. Do you want to be a computer science expert?
No.
Good. What about business management expert?
Yes.
So you click that, and now all of these are just focused on what you want. And you can say, I only want something from 2021 or information from 2020. Or you can look through all of these and then still limit this. Now we have 10,000 just talking about global supply chains with coronavirus. Or decentralized coordination. Boy, this sounds really boring. I don't even know what this means. Stochastic, this means lots of confusing mathematics. So you can go through, and this is talking about in Bangladesh. Do you want to study global demand management in Bangladesh? You can put Korea, you can put Vietnam or Australia or Canada. So there's 10,800 articles, and almost every one of these is usually $30 to $50 to read. So let's pick any one of these. Global demand for initial coin offering. This sounds interesting. So if we click on here, this is a story talking about cryptocurrency and Bitcoin and the global demand for it. This is the abstract. This is who it's referencing. You can go through and you see my screen, right? You just press download. Can you read this? You can see it. Press download, and it's downloading. It's done.
Oh.
So now we have to just wait until my computer catches up, and it should be coming on here sometime soon. Maybe my computer is getting old like me. Let's check over here. No, let's try again. Okay, this document could not be downloaded. Uh-oh. So in this case, you need to talk to the university library, and the university library or the professor will help you download it. So that's one example. It looks like I already
Professor,
saved to PDF.
Professor, I think
Yep.
it doesn't work because like the word you said before, like if you're not in Keiming University, it doesn't work.
Right. Okay. Maybe. So when I was in my office during last week, I could download when I'm on the university property. But now that I'm off the university at my home, trying to drink wine on a Saturday night when I'm talking to students, maybe the university is super smart. They say I can't do work when it's supposed to be the weekend and wine drinking time. So if you try to download when you're on the university, it might be a lot easier. So, but I have done it before. It does work sometimes. If we keep going back through it. Let's check another one. Anybody interested in the Chile and the Andes or genetics, crude oil? What topic are you interested in trying to download? So all of these, especially this one, open access means anybody can access it. So if we try this, should be no problem. It says downloading. It could not be downloaded. What? It's this one is open. So let's try another way. So we go through this. So this is one way to do it. Another way to do it is we go back to the university area. We go to, you guys see my screen. This is our university website. Go to the library. Inside the library website, you can also download, and it's usually easier here, but I'm going to need your help to go through the Korean. So if we change to hopefully English, and then we do a search. Where's the search area? Do a search. You want to search for e-material or a different catalog. I would say probably integrated, just means search for anything. Or you could say over here, this one, it says article, just search for the article. Anyway, we could search for this. If we press this in here. So this says, the e-material already has it. So if we click on this, find it at Kamyong, here's one way to open it. Find it here. Here's another way to open it. Web of Science, here's another way. Web of Science is the competition. It's even better than Scopus, but Scopus has an easier website. So if you go here, oh, now I need your Korean to help me. Resources. Can somebody tell me which one do I need to click to download it? I think it's one of these. Lee Chang-hyun, can you tell me which one, what are these Koreans saying?
Okay. Notification.
Please, top.
You should
So
go in.
this is where you should be able to get it. What were you saying?
I didn't read all of it, so I couldn't translate it.
So find it at the university. So if we press this, this is the university library is one way to do it. And so we come back to here. So which one is it? Anyway, in Korean, it should be easier to find it. Just click one of these and it should open for you. Can you guess which one?
I think they're trying to say like you're out of the campus, so it doesn't.
Sucks to be me. Okay, so maybe you have to be on the campus. So save a bunch of these links, then go back to the campus and click on them when you're on the campus, download them, and then you can come back. That could be true because, again, this is many millions of dollars to be able to get this information. Where is it here? All of these details, wherever it was. Where are those words that I just found? Anyway, when you see the 10,000 articles or 30,000 articles, those are available when you're on the campus, especially when you're at the library. And it may be confusing to get it because it's very valuable. And the university is trying to protect it. But you pay tuition or you have a scholarship here, you're connected with the university librarian, it's their job to make sure you can get it. And you don't have to pay anything. So hopefully that helps you. Any other questions? Does that answer your question? So one is you go through Edwards. The other one is just you go through the Scopus. Like in Scopus, you can download things. Does that answer your question?
Yeah, thank you, Professor.
No problem. Any other questions? Global demand for wine on Saturdays when students talk too much.
You're drunk already?
I wish. I haven't been able to start. No documents found. Oh my God, terrible. We have to do research in this area. Who's going to help me start doing research on this? Secondary documents. Let's see. Also, no documents found. Maybe there's a patent. We can invent something that might help. No patents found, so we can invent it. The problem that we made here is this search checked and made sure every document has the word global, and they have the word demand, and they have the word for, and they have the word wine, and they have the word on, and Saturdays and Sunday, and students talk to them. So each one of these words has to be in the article. So if we click on something like this with putting in commas, it should be easier. And we could do advanced search also. So this has 156 documents. And we could do even more, refine that also. Anyway, those are just examples. So who is a student? What are you going to try to do this week to help your future? Kim, Cutie, it's time for me to talk to you. Who are you? What are you going to do in 5 years from now? Kim, Cutie. Kim, Cutie, are you here? Pak Jongik, are you here?
Yes, Professor.
So what do you want to do in 5 years?
I wanna trade with other country.
So you want to go study in another country. Great. What country?
Maybe Australia or America.
Great. Now tell me the name of classes you are studying this year. What is just the name of classes you have?
Name my class?
Yeah. What classes do you study?
Studying academy writing.
Okay. And
wait a second, please.
you don't even know what class you're in? Oh my gosh.
No.
Your classes must suck. Your professor must be terrible.
No. Communication skills and academic writing and
Okay.
fundamental of political science.
Okay. Well, we can stop there. So you already said you're interested in trade with Australia. And I heard another person here, Hua, in our group today. She has been in Australia studying, living there for a while. She's already there. So you should write down her name. You should be sending her some notes through the text saying, hey, let's get together or whatever, because that's a contact. How many people do you know in Australia now? How many people do you know in Australia? 0, 10 people, 100 people? How many people do you know in Australia, connected with Australia?
It's 0.
0. That's not true.
Yeah.
You know Hua. Hua just said she's been studying in Australia for the last several years. So there's one right there. This is an example. Many people don't look at their environment. So there's people around you now that can help you. And there's business companies, many countries from Korea want to go to Australia, and Australian companies want to come to Korea. Find any of them and find out what they want to do, and you can use your communication class or your writing class to write a paper to help them using those Scopus articles, for example. So that's one way you can start getting your dream now. But your dream, you didn't say what you want to do. Do you want to trade and just live there? Do you want to be a manager there? Do you want to be a ballerina there? Do you want to be a bartender there? So the more specific you are, the better. If you go through, no matter what you want to do, just don't follow other students. Most students, most people just follow like sheep and they don't ask questions. And then after the graduation, they're pushed into the world and they're supposed to get a good job, but they don't realize how hard it is. And so they get slaughtered. If you realize you're a new student, you're at the back of the list, there's already people waiting to get jobs. If you think big, if you think about the environment like this, if you think about how you can use valuable papers to help a company, and if you think about how trillion-dollar companies might pay you money to develop the paper to help that company, then you can use that to get ahead of everybody, even though you're no, I can't say student because a lot of people don't like that word. If you say you're a researcher and you're part of a team developing a report for this employer, you can give that team report with valuable Scopus information to that employer and start working with them today. Understand? I can name 100 different companies related to Australia and people in Australia that you could contact. You can start now connecting with them. Does that make sense? Did I put you to sleep? Lee
If
Dong-young,
you're still,
go ahead.
if you're still interested in Australia, they actually can give you a free visa for 1 year, and you can go just for around $400 in the beginning, just the fee for visa, and you can live there like working and going for holiday at the same time. It's called working holiday visa, so it's actually for free if you want to get one. Are you still interested in this? Park Park Johnny, right?
Yes, I'm interested in working holiday.
Yeah.
Thank you for
You can contact me and I'll tell you more later.
thank
Great.
you.
There is an example of how you can get benefits automatically. So keep working with this idea. The more you think about it, the more you build your plan, the better. I guess I'm not surprised. Some people didn't ask how you can write the paper. Your teacher in your academic writing, he should be teaching you this because everybody's studying management, everybody's studying economics, everybody's studying business. That's all the social sciences. And the most popular social science paper format is this way. You should have an abstract, introduction, background literature, methods, results, conclusion. If you do that, just answering these details, these questions, why the topic is important, what other writers say, what are you trying to do, what did you find, this information is how you can make a professional report and make, as long as you're teaching something new, you can give that to the company and help them. And that would help you get higher level towards your goals. So thank you for that. For your reference, I have hundreds of other slides. Most of them are developed just to answer questions. So if you have questions, I can show you maybe more interesting information. Here is an example of some of the details I have. Here's 62. And there's more we could talk about. Anybody else have any questions before we go? And I'll let you guys get back to your Saturday afternoon parties. Any other questions?
I guess no. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you very much. If you have questions, again, please feel free. You can contact me anytime. If you go through the university and you sign up properly through the student counseling session, or you can make a reservation with the professor, I can meet you anytime. Any professor could probably meet you almost anytime, and you might get points for that. And we can talk about everything from, what was it, the baby factory to careers to whatever else they're talking about here. Basically, you can talk about anything with your professors. Please don't just wait and let life pass you by. Please start planning your future today. Thank you very much. Have a good day.
Thank you. Have a good day, Professor.